second of what I call trail talks. I did one before with Tailgater and Scooch in Paris, and it was kind of cool because what the intent is that it lets the other people know about what we talk about. What are the things that we're concerned about. Something that they may have no clue. Because they already know that they have no clue about what it really is like unless you get out here and you do it.
That's right.
So it's just about taking it wherever we want to go and just chatting. So today is almost a little bit
60th.
over our 2-month mark.
Yeah, 60 days.
2 mark, and
Wow.
so my body has been hurting like crazy today. I had knee problems the whole day.
Did you?
Is anybody else having problems here physically?
I've got a hot spot on on the side of my right heel that's been bothering me for
Do you need
about
some Leukotape?
a week.
Do you want some Leukotape?
I'll try that.
Well, look, I've got some here.
So, with your arm there. Oh, there you go.
Okay. All right, so you have hot spots,
One hot spot on my right heel.
and that's the only thing that's bothered you physically?
Yes, but knock on wood.
How about you,
Been
Blue?
lucky.
My feet hurt terribly every day. But I took some ibuprofen yesterday lunchtime. That really helped me get through the afternoon. So I didn't take any today, and they're hurting badly again when I finish the day. But it's part of it. Just,
But you've
I
lost
expect
toenails too. I mean,
Oh, I've lost toenails, yeah.
and
I've got black
how about
nails as
you?
well. I've got black nails as well.
How about you?
Mine's just general, if I keep my mileage under 15 miles a day, I feel pretty good. It's when I start pushing over that I start getting, my feet, the front of my feet start hurting and my knees start hurting. But if I take care of myself, I do okay.
But that's a great, follow-up subject about mileage that we do, and why do we do the big days, or why do we do the short days, or what determines what we're going to do?
This week is we all want to finish. We all want to do McAfee Knob on Friday, so we had to work out the number. Well, actually, our logistician, if that's what you call them, worked out what the mileage would be, so we could get there on time. We're going to see somebody on Wednesday night, which is kind of nice.
Yep.
Stay at their house and hopefully clean up and get some food there. And I think you just look ahead all the time to see where you are. I don't look more than about 3 days ahead though.
But this week's unique that we're looking a whole week ahead because we knew also, besides McAfee Knob, that several of us wanted to take a 0 at the end of the week.
And Roanoke.
And in Roanoke. So how do you get to Roanoke from here, and how many miles do you have to do it? So we're slowing down a little bit this week over the previous weeks.
But I mean, if previous weeks, to me, it was all about looking at the weather. And
Yeah.
the weather
Yeah.
dictated more
Interesting.
about...
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
But now it's not necessarily the weather, it's more
Not this week.
our what do we want to do rather than the weather.
But this week also there aren't any huge storms predicted. Like there's a 50% chance of rain on Thursday and Friday, but that's not like thunderstorms and tornado warnings and the rest of it. So I think it takes that pressure off.
It is. I must say, I'm getting more and more concerned about how badly I cope with rain. Because when I get stuck in the rain, I just get soaked. And I'm thinking of getting a skirt.
How about an umbrella?
A rain skirt. I'm thinking of an umbrella as well.
I have an umbrella and a skirt, and I love them both.
What, for the rain?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think
Me
it might
too.
be the thing.
And you have the skirt. Have you used it yet, the rain
Not yet.
skirt?
I had to use the rain pants the last
Yep.
rain because it was so cold. And I didn't want my pants getting wet.
Nothing's too cold now, is it?
It's-
Nothing-
But
rain
hopefully
shouldn't be too
we're
cold,
past all that cold part.
Well, yeah, don't you think it's going to start warming up now? I mean,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the warmer, and I'm okay with warm and rain, as long as it's
Yeah.
warm.
And not thunderstorms.
Well, and as long as it's over 50
wind.
degrees with rain, you're not worried about hypothermia like you would be when it's under 50 degrees. That's
I
a whole
think the
different...
umbrella's the thing I want to try one of those out.
You've had to do a lot of fiddling with your umbrella, though, to get it just right. You keep drilling holes and doing all sorts of
I
stuff.
drilled a hole in the handle the other day, 2 days ago, and it's something else I'm going to try out because of the those lock cords weren't holding.
Yep.
So I'm going to physically tie it,
Okay. Cinch it down.
and the shock cord will do fine up here. It's just down here is where
Yep.
the pressure is. As long as the wind's not blowing real hard, I can use an umbrella.
Yep.
Do you think it's a normal thing to have an umbrella on the trail?
I think that it wasn't 5 years ago, but I think it's becoming the norm.
More and more, yeah. I think still most people haven't got one though.
No, you're right. I would say maybe 20% of people do.
Yeah.
You think 20%?
No,
I would say
No,
it's
you don't
less
think
than
that high?
10?
10?
10%.
At the most,
100% of you two do, yeah.
So 50% of people at this table have them.
Yeah. I reckon at tops it's 10, personally.
I mean, I think
I think it's a
the
great
conception is that an umbrella is just extra weight.
It's incredibly light though, isn't it?
Mine's 7 ounces.
It's all carbon. You know, it's
Well, I've seen some really ultralight umbrellas.
Yeah.
you know, you don't want to be on top of a mountain with lightning,
Well, is it
And a
sturdy
lightning
enough
rod in
where
your
it
hand.
doesn't blow and then it just like
Right.
and it catches up on some of the mountain laurel.
does it go pop
branches.
out?
It's really well engineered. I mean, it's an expensive umbrella because it's designed for hiking.
Yeah.
You know, it's designed
much
for
are they?
high winds. I think it was $45.
Well, it's not that expensive, is it?
But I mean, compared to an umbrella
it
you'd
is,
buy at
yeah, yeah.
Walmart or,
$9.
you know,
Yeah, yeah, but that
which is what you started with. And then you were like,
Yeah,
and it was an aluminum shaft and we were
Right,
having
like
lightning
that.
and you're like, I can't even use this because we're going to get electrocuted. Yeah. I think the other thing that I see on the trail that is another newer phenomena is the front packs like you're wearing right now, the fanny
Fanny
pack.
Fanny pack.
Yeah.
I got this because I'm getting my summer gear, which is a lighter bag, so I won't have to be able to put so much in it. So I'm getting used to putting stuff in it, and I've got two side on the new bag. I've got two side pockets as well.
Well, I thought the fanny pack was all about a lot of the packs don't have the side pockets anymore,
Well, I think
Or
I'll
they're
see
not
that-
big enough.
that's
or
what
they're not big enough.
And for me, I use it exclusively for food that I'm eating during the day so that I never have food in my side pocket. So when I have my backpack with me at night, I'm not worried that there's scents of food in it for animals to attract them. So, and Blue's hat is fascinating to me. Mighty Blue's hat with that reflective material.
the sun reflects
Yeah,
80% of the sunlight. The head is much warmer, much cooler.
cooler.
It's cooler?
Yeah, much cooler.
Where'd you get it?
I was given it by a company called Alchemy Labs. It makes so much difference. When I've got my
You feel the shade all the way around.
when I've got my,
It's like a disco hat.
As a podcaster, do you get stuff in the mail all the time?
not all the time, but I got that for free because I went as media to the outdoor retailer show, and I liked it. And he said, if you'd like us to send you one, we'll send you one. I said, sure. And
It feels the same as yours.
and it takes
Cool.
does take the sun away. It just reflects the sun away. You don't feel hot on the top of your head. I mean,
So-
I get hot still from
So
Nice
what I'm
flag green.
okay. So what I'm concerned about is because I wear my buff all the time because I sweat so much. I want something to soak up my sweat.
Yeah, well, I still sweat. I mean, that doesn't, but that's because of the energy. I mean,
Yeah.
because of the exercise and walking uphill.
Yeah.
But this, I totally. I normally wear my bandana.
Well, and
my-
then
my
when
head-
I
my
when I
head's
notice my
exposed.
nose is getting all red or something like that, I'm putting my ball cap on because I
Well,
want to try to
But this
shield
is
it.
longer at the back, so it covers my neck as well.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that with Trigger's gloves, you'd have a new trail name of Michael Jackson between the disco hat and the the gloves.
They're a bit on there.
The mighty,
You don't get
the
the
mighty Michael
tan line
Jackson.
The
with
mighty-
the straps.
Right, the strap tan. Do you have a strap tan too, or
Yeah,
do you
I
not
do.
use the straps? Yeah, we've got
Here,
all of
I
us.
don't know if you see it.
Mighty Blues are the
You-
like most distinct, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's got a really
It's basically because we put our straps in the
Straps.
poles, and we use the straps as leverage to push
kinda
down
pulling
on.
down.
But they're always in the same place, and so we end up with these tan lines with strap lines.
They're cool.
it's definitely unique to hiking, I think.
Yes.
I don't think skiers get this because they have gloves on.
Gloves on, that's right.
Right. Oh, you don't put your hands in the straps, I don't think.
Yes, you do. You ski. I do.
In skiing? I guess you do.
Not racers, but the rest of people do.
Wow.
And I'm not a racer. I go down fast, totally out of control. But
All right. Well. All right. So the other thing is, I was thinking about was the things that hikers talk about. I think 99% of the time we talk about gear, food, tent stuff,
Yep, gear, yeah.
sites, shelters, hostels,
privvies.
privies. What else do we talk about?
Water sources.
Water sources.
The thing is that the great thing about hiking for me is there are so few options, but you have to do all the things you have to do. So you have to set your tent up, in your case the hammocks, you have to get your food out, you have to do this, you have to do that. But they're quite small things really. They just everything takes such a long time, doesn't it?
But it's rare that we come in early enough into camp where
Like
we
we
can
did
just sit
today.
around do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Usually we're fighting the setting sun, and I mean, we still have another couple hours
I
of
mean,
sun.
today it's been really nice. We have hours. But,
Sounds like it.
Normally as soon as you get in, I see you, taking out your food immediately, start cooking, and you're setting your tent up almost after, before that usually.
Yeah, I have to get my tent. I know where my tent is. Yeah.
Get your water filtered.
Yeah,
your
I try to get my water right
bag.
away, so that I don't even have to get it in the morning.
Right.
One of the things that we've gotten used to doing is on the day that we go into town, that hike into town, we talk about what kind of food we're going to order at a restaurant. That's always like a great, and sometimes like one day it was like we didn't even care about the food, we just wanted beer. It was like the food didn't matter, we just both felt like we wanted
And
a
that
beer.
can be 2 or 3 days ahead. You're looking that far. You're looking that far ahead.
Well, when I was hiking with Julie, we were talking about the beer. When we
Were
got
you?
into town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first started hiking, when I did my first section, it was the first section to top of Georgia, and going into Neal's Gap. I remember it was like only 3 days, right? The first 3 days. I thought, oh my God, I'm a hiker now, and I thought, all I want is a big juicy hamburger, and so I feel, and now I have these go-to items every time I go into town. What are your go-to items?
I love a wedge salad with blue cheese dressing and a hamburger, I think.
Burger, beer, easy. Burger and beer.
I like fresh vegetables.
Like a salad?
Well, I would broccoli and cauliflower and carrots and zucchini.
This is weird for me, but for me, it's an orange soda.
Oh, really?
And has that
Orange
never
soda.
hit you before? This is new to the trail?
No.
Orange Crush or
Orange
just
Crush.
Orange Crush, really?
I don't know why it is. I feel like, I want an Orange Crush.
You don't want a beer?
No.
I really, really want a beer when I get into town. Really want a beer. And having a margarita the other day was a bit of a treat.
Those
That
margaritas were
margarita.
really good.
Yeah. So,
It is funny though, it's the things that I don't necessarily crave at home. I don't crave hamburgers at home.
No.
no.
So,
But I mean, that goes along with our food. We have to be creative in the way we eat our food out here, and how many Pop-Tarts can you eat?
right.
I'm not that creative. I boil the water, pour it in the bag. That's it. Stir it up a few times, I'm good to go. And we're just trying to get, what you said the other day, we're just trying to get calories, aren't we? Just trying to get calories inside us. I'm starting to eat more and more now. I'm not losing as much weight as I thought I was going to. So
I'm
just
still
eating
losing
tons
weight.
of food.
That's good.
That
I'm
means you're
still
doing it
losing
right.
weight.
But you want to lose weight.
My pants. Well, I'm not trying to lose
You're
weight.
not, okay.
I'm just doing it, and it's when I go up a hill, I'm pushing still a heavy pack up on my back, and that's taking a little bit extra energy, I think, and
We done, was it 5,000 to 7,000 calories a day? We've got to shove the food in our face. We really have.
no, I mean eventually I see myself being a prisoner of war, skinny looking dude. But and I'm when I jump off trail, I'm gonna probably try to beef up a little bit.
Get some extra calories in.
Yeah, because I know
But you
I'm
said
gonna
as
need
soon
it.
as you get off trail, like your body is still
body still
processing at
burns
that.
Does it
But
really?
a couple
for
weeks?
about 2 weeks it did for me, yeah. And then it stops. In a big way. And you still think, this is good, I can carry on eating like that. But you just can't,
Are you still eating big 2 weeks later or a week later?
No, I can't recall that. I do know that it carried on burning though. I wasn't putting on weight, and I was still, because my wife was trying to feed me up a lot. I was really, really eating as much as I possibly could, and I wasn't putting weight on. And then suddenly I did, and they just didn't stop for about 80 pounds.
80 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah.
You lost 80 pounds?
I
No,
lost
he
60
gained.
and put on about 80.
Oh my God.
That's scary.
And then I lost
can't do that.
again. My weight's all over the place all the time.
Has it always been?
only since I've got older.
Have you
So
tried to do a conscious diet after
No.
you?
Out here, no. I just tried.
No, I mean after you finish.
I'm going to try to this time, yes, because I haven't lost as much, so which is quite good. So I won't need to pile on too much, hopefully. I know we still got to
So
lose
you
some.
got quite the wardrobe.
Oh,
This size,
40,
this size.
42-inch waist down to 34-inch waist. Back up again.
It gets expensive, you know, wardrobe,
And I hadn't been a
wardrobing.
34-inch waist since I was about 10. But I lost. It was ridiculous.
I actually figured out that I'm lower than when I retired from the military right now.
Really?
I retired at 190, and I'm about 185 now.
Do you feel as fit as you did then?
I feel worn down.
That's not the same as fit, I don't think.
You are old. You are
That's
older.
the thing we're all going to get, though. We will get worn down.
Worn
all of
down.
us.
Does it
Yeah.
feel worn? Is that adequate?
It's a very good phrase. It's exactly what happened. I mean, I was wiped out. When
Worn
I finished
down. I mean,
Yeah.
you feel like you could just take a vacation for a week
for about a month.
or a month.
Easily,
Okay.
yeah. I was in bad state when I finished.
And walking is okay as long as I'm moving. When I stop for a while, it hurts
you
like
said-
crap.
Yeah, well, I said anyway, yeah. You are a fast hiker, aren't you? You surprised me how fast you are. Because your temper's still up when I left camp, and then you passed me soon after that.
Yeah, it was probably an hour later. 45 minutes.
I was having a hard time up that hill today. That was a
Those
slow,
hills were.
with all the rocks, and I just couldn't quite get my footing.
Yeah, the rocks of Southern Virginia have surprised me. I didn't expect it to be as bad as that. And I don't recall it being as bad as that last time.
And you know that Virginia gets that hype for being flat, and it's not flat.
Totally.
It's not flat at all. It's just not as steep as
No,
the previous states,
you
but
know-
there's still, we're doing 4,000 feet a day of elevation gain
but-
loss.
But I've seen some steep where they say we're not going to do any switchbacks. We're going to go straight up the mountain here, and those have been tough. I mean, but once you get to the top, it's like okay, now it's level for now, and you can.
Yeah, don't you find you recover quite quickly? You're struggling to
It's
get
true.
up there, and then you go down like that, and suddenly you're walking virtually normally straight away.
Right, you recover quicker.
Yeah.
Oh
much
yeah.
quicker, yeah. Which is good.
Oh, and you notice that you see these guys just starting out now, the section hikers, right? And they struggle. One guy says, "I'll be lucky to get eight miles in," right? And I'm thinking,
That's
well,
the
you
way
oughta
we
be-
were in
you ought-
Georgia.
You ought to be able to do that in your sleep. You know the way for us, 8 miles is nothing.
I'm
We feel
looking-
like we're cheating when we do 8-mile days, right? We were like,
Yeah.
oh, well, we'll be done by noon and we'll have
feel-
all
You
afternoon.
feel guilty a little
Yeah.
bit. But I can't wait till the path goes more north and all this east and down south again.
No, you go south too.
I know.
We're
that's
going
east
around
and south.
Roanoke right now. Like this 100 miles is just basically skirting Roanoke. If you look at the map, it's
Really?
amazing. Yeah. We're spending an entire week going around the city of Roanoke.
And then you can go into it.
When we get towards the Shenandoah, we're start going more north.
North again.
And then, once you get out of Virginia, once you get into out of Pennsylvania, rather, it's amazing how fast everything seems to go. You suddenly realise you've left Washington D.C. behind, then you've left New York behind, then you're looking at 40 miles north of New York, and the pace. It's almost like you don't pick up pace, but you feel like you're picking up pace on the map. You leave these big cities behind, which is really kind of weird.
The last couple places we've stayed at, the hostels have had maps, the long maps of the Appalachian
right,
Trail
yeah.
with their pin of where they are on the map, and I find that so discouraging because we're so far down at the bottom of the map yet.
But we're approaching 1/3.
McAfee Knob, I think, is at the 1/3 mark.
1/3.
Is
Somewhere right around there. Yeah, I mean, it's not exact, but it's somewhere around there.
I mean, I thought 1/4 were just three
We're
more
past
times, right?
30%. I know we're past 30% already. Yeah. Today, in fact, we went past 30%.
Okay.
But right
That's
now,
good.
and what I was told that in the beginning, you do these low miles and stuff like that. But after you get to the point where we're at right now, these 100-mile just start clicking off a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
One a
700.
week. We're doing 100 miles a week right now, which is a lot for me. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a lot for everybody
It
else.
feels right for me right now.
Yeah.
And this was about when I started doing 100 miles. Although this is when I finished my first section of the hike last time because I had to get off the trail. When I got back, I got straight into 100 mile weeks.
Weeks
When are we going to hit 700?
this week. But I think it's
Thursday.
Yeah.
So
We have a
Before
couple.
McAfee Knob.
Yeah, we have a couple of big things. We have the Kefir oak, which is the largest oak tree in the south, or the largest tree on the trail in the south. It's 300 years old. And then we have the Audie Murphy Memorial coming up,
Yep. Then Dragon's Tooth.
Dragon's
And
Tooth.
even worse, the climb down from Dragon's
Oh,
Tooth.
is that tough? And then we have
Frightening.
McAfee Knob, and then we have Tinker Cliffs. We have the 700-mile mark. We've got a lot coming up the end of this week.
A
Good.
lot to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Said if I make it that far, I've done the trail. I can quit now.
You're done.
I said, wait, have we made it past McAfee's yet? Okay, now I can quit.
That's
No.
kind of the picture-perfect place, isn't it? Everybody.
No, actually, so Harper's Ferry is, is a point where you say, I made it halfway now.
It's not halfway.
But it's not halfway. It's
It's
psychological.
close. It's so close.
It
isn't
used to be
about
halfway.
60 or 70 miles short of halfway.
Yeah.
60 or 70?
Yeah. It
Oh,
used to be
wow.
halfway, but the trail is longer than it used to be.
But I mean, they still treat it as a halfway point. Don't
Yeah, they still take your picture with the Polaroid and they put your number on it as to which number northbound hiker you are coming through, and it'll be interesting
coming
to see our
through?
numbers.
You mean it's different than the number I started with?
Right. So like I'm number 377, and probably by the time we get up there, it's probably going to be like number 500, because there are that many people that started in March that are going so much faster.
Oh,
than
wait
me
a second. Now,
that are
wait.
going to pass by.
Remember, there's a lot of dropouts, too.
It's true, but we see people every single day that are like coming by saying doing 30-mile days, and they started March 20th. What did he start?
I came the first time a month later, and I was about 680 something through Harper's Ferry.
Wow.
So, and that was a month later than this. So, a lot of people have dropped out.
Okay.
What is the percentage you think of people that actually do make it?
It's meant to be 20 to 25.
I thought that was a little high.
No, it's about right.
25%?
20 to 25, yeah.
20 to 25.
Wow.
That's I've always heard.
I always heard about 15%.
I'm surprised it's as high as that, because it is difficult, and some people, when they get on this trail, they can't like it. Because it's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible.
Right.
And
it is a true marathon, and whatever's going on right now isn't the same thing that's going to be going on 3 months from now when we're up in New Hampshire.
Nothing like.
Our bodies are going to feel different, and the terrain is different, and
Yep.
I don't mean to psych you out, Trigger. You're looking nervous right now.
Yeah, don't make me dread the future.
Don't dread New Hampshire.
No, you're going to love it.
Well, I heard New Hampshire was piece of cake.
And the people from New Hampshire are second to none.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're God's people.
Sarah, where are you from?
New Hampshire.
Oh,
I don't have a horse in this race because Florida. Nothing on the trail in Florida.
well, so I'm relying on you guys to start getting me some contacts so that, your daughter comes and picks us all up.
Yeah,
Maybe my daughter comes picks us all up.
yeah. We're all going to have to be like Blue, Mighty Blue. We're going to have to start forming, we're going to have to do a better job forming our network.
Getting our contacts. That's right. All right.
Where's
well,
your daughter live?
My daughter is up in Burtonsville, Maryland. So it's just north of D.C. My
I
son
wouldn't
is...
mind going into DC one day. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, that would be a nice side trip.
And you can
So,
get training
so
from
Christina,
Harper's
if you're
could rent a
hearing
car.
this, Mighty Blue wants to ride into D.C. and we need a tour guide. And then Jacob's in Fredericksburg. My son's in Fredericksburg.
Okay.
And I suspect he might come out sometime. I told him, I said, you're going to have to come get me. He said, what are you doing next weekend? I said, well, I'm a little far
It's
for
still
you.
far, yeah. Still a big drive.
But I think it'd be nice to go into DC, just look around. It's a great walking city, isn't it?
Have you been
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, years ago, yeah. I ran up and down the steps of that long.
And you did the museums,
Of
right?
the mall, yeah.
I must have been 27, 28 at the time, a long time ago. 35, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Go to some good restaurants. That's what I think of.
Restaurants.
Talking of restaurants, time for food.
Yep, all right.
All right.
Thanks, everyone.
See this?
All right, well, that's it for Hiker 2.